Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Alpha Dean, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So as you can see, we have got clan versus clan that's landing inside of the game today. If this is something that you participate in, then I wish you best of luck in it. For my clan, I mean, this isn't something that we push for. Like, we don't try and get the win, but we do try and get some of these rewards on here. So these rewards, they're always nice to pick up, especially if you're free to play. I mean, if you're looking at the rewards, they're not the best, but they're not nothing neither. You know, free to play, wherever you can get in extra resources, then just try and get them, you know what I mean? Don't go out of your way to pick these up, but just do what you'd normally be doing inside of the game. So if we're to look then at what we've actually got on here today, well, over the next 2 days, so we've got 2x on your dragon objectives. I wouldn't really recommend that you do this because, you know, there's not a tournament or anything going on in regards to it, and it just makes no sense to be dropping energy there. But we have got, well, we've got forge objectives, ignore that. But we've got arena, right? Arena objectives, this is worth doing. So it's double points on here. You've probably got to do 5 of them anyway. I think that's every day, right? That you got to get 5 of them done for your advanced quest or even your dailies. I forget which one it is, but it's one of them. Probably already done it. Yeah, see, I've already done it, but it is one of those quests anyway where you've got to get 5 of them done. So I'd recommend just do that, and you're going to need to be doing that anyway to get this great haul done. This makes a huge difference. If you can develop this up, yeah, it's amazing how much difference it actually makes to your account. Yeah, I just did want to say good luck if that's something that you're participating in, and do your arena. I know it can be a pain, especially early game. So what I do want to talk to you about is going to be the tournaments. So landing inside the game today, then we've got this Fire Night tournament and we've got Tag Arena tournament. Now, by these tournaments, I didn't mean both of these two. What I did mean is the likes of your Fire Night. So you may as well participate in the Tag Arena. It's just these ones that are going to be costing energy to do. So Plarium, they're probably going to do this over the next probably week, I'd say. The next week, they're probably going to introduce no business tournaments like this. So looking at this then, it is a turn attack one. So it's not the best anyway, like for your energy, especially if you're earlier game. So this is quite hard to do if you're early game. And if you look at the rewards here, I mean, are these any good for even early game players is my question. For where I'm at, they're not good in the slightest, not any of them. So the only decent one really on here is the top reward, and that's a hell of a lot of energy to pick this up. So my advice for you would be to not participate in these dungeons that they're going to be throwing out over probably the next week. Like I said, they're just going to be no business tournaments, and I'd highly suggest that you don't do it. So as you can see, there are people that are participating in this. God knows why, because like I said, the rewards here are absolutely garbage. And if we go to the actual dungeon itself, you can see there's not a 2x on anything, there's not a 3x on anything. So if there was a 3x on Savage, then you could understand people maybe putting energy in for that reason. But there's nothing going on in regards to it, so I'd highly recommend that you don't do that. Now, if you're not putting your energy into there, then where should you be putting your energy? You know, you've got to use it somewhere. It's pointless just staying stagnant like this at 130. So, because mine is at 130, I will go to that now. So, where I'd suggest that you do it is you go to your arcane keeps. So, you go to your arcane keeps and you just put in some champions. I mean, you do this with whatever you can. So, here I can do it with just one champion. So, I can run this with one champion on a load of food. For me, this is what I'll be doing, and the reason that I'm doing this is because A, I need to level up Fizby, right? So I'm getting some levels in for Fizby. Now these aren't going to be the best way to level her up, however, I'm also getting brews. So brews, we've probably used a lot of brews if we've been leveling up Fizby and for the champion training events, stuff like that. And not only that, I'm also getting the arcane potions. So if you notice when I'm coming into here, I didn't pick the bottom one. So I actually picked the one prior to the bottom one. And that's going to be the best one for me because I do need the lesser potions. So stage 20, that doesn't actually give you lesser potions. It only gives you greater and superiors. So that's why I've come into here. So either way, I'm going to be double dipping. I'm going to be double dipping in the sense that I'm getting some arcane potions. I don't really need the greaters and the superior ones, but I do need the lessers. So if I can pick up a lesser, then great. Let's have a look. We got 2 superiors, but we got a brew as well. These brews are always handy for your champion trainings. So I'm picking up brews, I'm picking up potions, not really the ones that I want, but these are always good anyway, these superior ones, to be fair. This is what I was talking about, that I did do stage 19 and not stage 20, and I will quickly just show you that. If you look here, look, you'll see you've only got your greater, your superior, you don't have your lesser. So that's why I ran 19 and not 20, and if we take a quick look at my potions, that way you can see what I'm talking about. So if we go to the tavern, send potion mixer, these are really low for where I'm at. So I like these to be over 1,000. As you can see, the others, they're all over 1,000. This one is not. I mean, picking up these anyway is going to be a good idea. I don't think that the next one that we've got fusion wise is going to be a potion one, because we had this one, which is the mixed fusion. So Mavara, she's the mixed fusion. Prior to that, we had Pelops. So Pelops was a classic fusion, so it should be the case that the next one is just going to be a fragment one. Now in my opinion, these are the easiest ones just because you don't need your potions and whatnot. However, we are going to need it then, you know, for the one after that. If fusions is something that you're going to be trying to complete on the regular, then you are going to be needing to pick up these potions. So arcanes, you need arcanes more than any because they go into every single one of these affinity ones. So just make sure that you're stocked up on your arcane potions. And then, I mean, it's making me laugh a little bit this, because the last time when I spoke about the potions, it was actually the Force Keep that was open then. And the Force Keep has got nothing to do with this Mavara one. Like, we've used the magic and we've used the spirit, but we haven't really touched the force. So we have used the magic for leveling up Mavara. You know, she's actually magic herself. Where is she? Fusion. Yeah, she's magic, look, as you can see. But all of these are spirit. So the chances are that you're quite low on your spirit potions. I mean, I'm not. This isn't really a good example. But if you are low on your spirit ones, did that say Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. I mean, it's probably going to be the case that these crappy dungeons are going to be continuing on. So you've probably got Ice Golem or something like that next. I can't remember the order. I can't bother to pull up the calendar. So yeah, whatever's due next. Actually, it was just Spider, wasn't it? So yeah, it could be Ice Golem that's due next. What other dungeons is there? Fire Knight or Dragon. Maybe Dragon. It probably will be Dragon because they're doing it Dragon now on a 2x for your CVC. So that'll probably come to a close and then they'll open up Dragon. They have got a habit of doing that. So it'll probably be Dragon next. And that's probably going to be the same kind of thing. Crappy rewards and no free exit out like that. So just use this time to farm up whatever resources it is that you can, that you need. So if you don't particularly need these potions, if you're not bothered about going for fusions or anything like that, you don't want to be doing your potions, then go into your dungeons, grind out some masteries for your champions. You should have, you know, champions that you want to level up. In my case, I mean, this isn't a good example. These are all mastered now apart from Edward, and he needs ranking up before I can, you know, proceed with him. But I could throw in other ones. I mean, I've just summoned these two guys, so these could get leveled up. I still want to do her up. So, yeah, and if you've just got Thisbe as well, so if you didn't go for Mavara and you just picked up Thisbe, should have seemed like a decent champion, to be fair. You could be getting her masteries if you've already leveled her up. So just a couple of areas there which, you know, you could be concentrating on inside of the game to use up your energy. Like I say, you don't want this energy to be sat, you know, at 130. You want it to be ticking over all the time. That's going to be the best way that you're going to be able to progress your account. And then obviously just do your other areas, whatever you can do, Curse City wise, Green Forest wise, Doom Tower, etc, etc, etc. Like, that should be done every day anyway. That's not really energy that you need to be using in regards to them. So yeah, I don't really want to be touching on that. You could also try and improve your Iron Twins. So if you don't want to be putting your energy and whatnot into there, test out comps for higher levels on this. So if you're stuck at, I don't know, say stage 9, you can't do stage 10, just test out other comps. Can I even click on these? No, I can't. Yeah, I can. So if you, I mean, this is the team that I use for anybody that's interested for my stage 15. So I don't really need these two. I think that they'd do it just fine, but it's a hell of a lot quicker with Crowcard and Shaik in there. And this isn't just exclusive neither to this Iron Twins. Like anywhere where you're stuck at the minute, just try and progress them. Like I said, this is only if you don't need those resources. So if you don't want to farm up your potions, if you've plentiful with your potions, if you don't want to do your masteries, then concentrate on your areas where you do need to progress. I just used Iron Twins there as an example, but it could be the case that you're on stage 20 and you've never actually tried to progress further than that. Whether this be in Dragon, Ice Golem, it doesn't really matter. So if you haven't really tried to progress through that, now could be the time that you want to try and do that as well. So you could try and progress through here, and then that way it could open up hard for you. So obviously hard's going to be where you're going to be picking up your mythical ones from. So Dragon's probably the easiest one for you to advance in first. If like you haven't taken on any of the hard stages yet, Dragon is probably the easiest one to get done, and I do believe it was the first one that I got done. So yeah, this isn't really a thing for me. I can do all of them now on hard, so it's not really something that I'm going to be doing. Like I said, what the area that I'm going to be concentrating on is picking up my arcanes, because I am quite low for where I want to be at that lesser potions. I did use a lot of them this time around, so that is what I'm going to be concentrating on. They're the tips that I'd recommend for you guys. Try and either progress in your dungeon areas with your free energy. Don't do the actual tournament ones unless that's the area where you want to be trying to progress. But even still, this is a turn attack that's going on, so it's not really going to net you in that many good points. But if Fire Knight is one where you want to try and progress in here, then, you know, by all means try and do that as well and see if you can get some of those points in as well. Fire Knight probably is the hardest one of these dungeons in the game, so yeah, not going to be great point-wise in regards to getting it done for that tournament. But yeah, that's going to be my 2 penneth anyway on this. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that it has been useful. If it has, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one.